Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching my videos or choosing to watch my videos. Out of all these other videos, you have selected mine. Now I start this video on a very sad note. Unfortunately, Kenya has lost a very high ranking person in Kenya, the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. He was a champion as far as human rights is concerned, and he fought for democracy all over Kenya. So he's a very, very important person. He holds a special place in all of the Kenyan people heart. Ladies and gentlemen, rest in peace, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga.
Appeared in U.S. court.
Mr. Malcolm, you have 4 different registrations.
Yes, sir. I did register and insure 2 cars that I wasn't driving. It was somebody else driving it.
So you're responsible. You know that.
Yes, I know.
As soon as you put your signature down, you are responsible.
I tried to help, but they wasn't considering my driving record.
If you're that free with your signature, I got a couple of promissory notes here. I'll have you sign, right? Okay. The parking during an emergency, was your car towed?
Yeah, it was a snow ticket. What happened, I parked in my driveway. So then we shoveled the road, this street side, clear it, back out the car, put it there. Shoveling out the yard now. Went in my basement. When I come back up,
I got the whole thing. Okay. It was in January. There was a big snowstorm.
Yes, sir.
I got it. There's a lot of snow.
And I wasn't on
big
the
mounds of
street.
snow.
I go on the street after when I clean the street.
Forget all that. Was your car towed?
Yes.
That's what I want to know. Right? Everything else is unimportant.
Yes, sir.
Right? I'm going to dismiss the ticket.
Thank you, sir.
So they towed your car, charged you $100. Then they gave you a $100 ticket as well.
Sir.
And you says, what's going on here? First they towed my car. I'm shoveling the snow.
When I come out,
It's all God's fault. He put all the snow here. Where you from?
I'm from Jamaica.
So does it snow where you are?
No.
Does it snow in Jamaica?
No.
When's the last time it snowed in Jamaica?
Never.
Never?
I always wear t-shirts and stuff. Good weather.
How long you been in this country?
I've been here like 20 years now.
Oh, well, you're like you know about the snow now.
Yes.
I mean, if you say I was already here a month, I didn't know about snow. 20 years. I see you're wearing a necklace and you got a photograph. So who's that?
Yes, this is His Imperial Majesty, Haile Sellasie, the Kings of Kings in Ethiopia. Yeah.
King of Ethiopia?
Yes, the Kings of Kings. He was crowned Kings of Kings
Okay,
in 1930.
I'm only asking out of curiosity. You can say I prefer not to discuss it. But is there a special reason why you would be wearing that?
Yes, because I'm a Rastafarian, and that's my culture. He's someone who I look up to.
Okay.
Yes.
All makes sense to me.
Yes, sir.
I broaden my horizons by asking these questions.
Yes.
Right? So, for you to have that kind of faith in someone and
Yes.
acknowledge their greatness, I think is wonderful.
Yes, I'm a vegan, and I try to be as positive as I can.
Well, you make a great appearance before the court. You're very respectful. So
Yes, sir. Thank you.
your country should be proud of you.
Yes.
This is your country now, right?
Yes, I'm here now. I'm a U.S. citizen now.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. The tickets, they were $180. I'm going to waive all the penalties. It's going to cost you $60.
Yes, sir.
So it's going to cost you a total of, let me see, $160
Okay.
for these tickets.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. And I could organize payments.
We'll put you on a payment plan.
Yes.
Talk to Alyssa. She's very generous.
All right. Thank you, sir.
So guys, from what the judge has said, that this guy insured 4 different registrations, and 2 of those registrations, they were not his. He was insuring 2 cars that he was not driving. What was the name of that the judge that issued this verdict? I keep forgetting that judge. Frank Caprio. What was the name of that judge? Frank Caprio. Yes.
You have 4 different registrations.
Yes, sir. I did register and insure 2 cars that I wasn't driving. It was somebody else driving it.
So you're responsible. You know that.
Yes, I know.
As soon as you put your signature down, you are responsible.
I tried to help, but they wasn't considering my driving record.
If you're that free with your signature, I got a couple of promissory notes here. I'll have you sign, right? Okay.
The name of that judge is called Frank Caprio. But unfortunately, I heard that he passed on. He was a very good, kind-hearted judge, very nice judge, ladies and gentlemen. I wish the rest of the world would be like Frank Caprio. Very nice, ladies and gentlemen. So the Jamaican man insured two cars that he himself, he was not driving. I wish those people paid back this Jamaican guy, because that was very kind. That was, imagine, he insured two cars.
Malcolm, you have 4 different registrations.
Yes, sir. I did register and insure 2 cars that I wasn't driving. It was somebody else driving it.
So you're responsible. You know that.
2 of them, he was not driving. He had 4 different registration. 2 cars, 2, he insured 2, which he was not driving. Why do I keep repeating myself? But either way, it's a point that I want to cut. There's something that I want to pass through. The spirit of I and I. The spirit of I and I. Your problems are my problems. Your wins are my wins. Your worries are my worries. Is very prominent. Is very, it's very evidence with the Jamaican people, especially with the Jamaican Rastaman, ladies and gentlemen. You see how kind this guy was. He's a very nice person. The spirit of I and I. This guy devoted himself to insure 2 cars that he himself was not driving, ladies and gentlemen. That was why I wish the rest of this world would follow prompt. I wish the rest of this world would be as kind as this Jamaican Rastaman. Yeah, because we have really dark, we have wicked people, we have wicked people. We have wicked people, You see everyone like a pope, Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important video. There's a message that I want to pass to the rest of the world. There is something that the rest of the world can learn from this Jamaican man, ladies and gentlemen. Even though he has lived in the US for close to 20 years, if you have noticed, he has not changed even his own way of dressing. He has not even changed even his own way of communication, ladies and gentlemen. He still dresses like a Jamaican man. What is wrong with that crawl? Okay, I don't know what is wrong with that crawl, but you see, they say that crawls always remember. Maybe there's one time I chased one of the crawls away, so maybe it has come back because it has seen me. But either way, that's not the point. This Jamaican man, he went to the US, lived in the US for close to 20 years. This is something that I love about Jamaican people, or even the Jamaican Rastafari. They don't change who they are. They don't change who they are. They do not conform in another culture that they are not familiar with. It's the same thing with this Jamaican man, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen scenarios, or have seen situations where somebody comes from Africa, or maybe someone lives in Namaingo village in Uganda. Someone is used to eating matoke or plantain. Someone is used to growing, muhombero and eating muhombero. But once he goes to the US, this person starts conforming into new cultures. This person starts conforming into the new ways of life. Something that he did not grow up with, something that his own parents did not teach, ladies and gentlemen. Learn something from this, Jamaica. What was the name of that US judge that gave him this verdict? Okay, I'm going to tell you once I find out, ladies and gentlemen. Please learn from this Jamaican Rastaman. Look at how disciplined he has carried himself. He has not deviated from his own way of belief just because he's in the US. He has not changed who he is just because he's in the US. I know all of us have seen that one person. All of us know that one person that you knew him. Maybe he grew up in a very strong Christian background, or maybe in a very strict background from Jamaica or from another part. But when they went to the US, this person changed and became something else. There's something else, when you look at him, including his behavior, it has really changed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching my videos up to this point. Let us continue showing love, to Jamaican people. There's absolutely nothing wrong with what Kenyan people are doing, showing love. And this YouTube, 100 years from now, most of us will not be on this earth. We will leave this YouTube, but the message that we are preaching will be out there. 100 years from now, what I'm saying here, someone will be watching this video as we speak about Jamaica 100 years from now, ladies and gentlemen. So this video, YouTube, once we leave this earth, all these YouTube that we are fighting for, it do not make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Yes, and of course, as Jamaicans, pray for Kenya. Kenya right now, we have lost a very, very important person. The former prime minister has passed on. Yeah. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, thank you so much for watching my videos up to this point, and subscribe and share this video far and wide. Well, someone has challenged me that I don't know the meaning of I and I. Well, I may not be so much knowledgeable about the Rastafari community, but I know the meaning of I and I. We are all one through the Most High. That means we share one body, one life, and one heart. If you feel pain, I also feel pain. If you feel joy, I also feel joy. When you struggle, I also struggle. When you're going through some serious problems, yeah, it also means that I'm also going through the same things. So if I'm in a position to help you, and when you're going through the same problems, or when you're going through some difficulties in life, I step in and help you. We are brothers keepers, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about humanity, and this is one of the most liked doctrine of the Rastafari community. That is why the Jamaican man insured for those 2 cars, even though those 2 cars were not his, ladies and gentlemen. I hope those 2 guys, one way or the other, they're gonna remember this Jamaican Rastaman, and I'm sure he has made Jamaican proud wherever he is. He has lived in the US for 20 years, but he's still living by the doctrines of the Rastafari community. And again, one thing that I also appreciate about the Rastafari community, and I always say this every time I always say this, but some people still don't get my point. Rastafari community is a culture that was inbred by a black man, and it's one of the very few cultures that was also inbred by a black man that has also influenced another skin color other than the black. Ladies and gentlemen, for most times we have seen cultures that are influencing our very own black people. For most times we have seen that, right? Yes, we have seen cultures that are coming in and they are influencing our very own black people. But here it is. Here we have a Rastaman culture, a black man's culture that is influencing the Japanese community, that is influencing the Japanese people to an extent that a Japanese man left Japan and came to Shashamale in Ethiopia, if I'm not wrong, to live in Ethiopia in Africa, because after all, Ethiopia, I believe, is the epicenter of the Rastafarianism, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And again, one thing that I also noted about the Jamaican Rastaman, he was wearing a necklace with the haile sellasie. The judge asked him, who is that? That is Haile Selassie, the kings of Ethiopia. Most times you will always see this, even when you walk in a Rastaman house, you will always see the picture of Haile Selassie or the Lion of Judah. These are some of those things, these are some of those doctrines that are so much prevalent. Yeah, here are the Rasta people playing the Nyambingi drum. And by the way, the Nyambingi means the fall of the Babylon. You see how they are playing. These are Japanese, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, if someone told you that at some point a black man will start a culture that will also influence Japanese, this is the Japanese man that I was telling you about. You see, he's in Ethiopia, as you can see. Yeah, maybe this is Shashamale in Ethiopia, and he's a Rasta man, and yes, he has children, of course, with an African woman, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, big up on yourself, big up to this Japanese man. Yeah, big up to all the Rasta people around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, that is so amazing. That is so fascinating. If all the people were like the Rastafari people, then we'll never have any reason to fight one another. Yeah, we will live in peaceful nature. We'll also take care of the nature, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of those amazing videos that I got to see. Even if you don't like the Rastafari community, look at the good things that they are doing and take it from that. Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, of course I saw someone complaining that Kenyans are talking about Jamaica. What do you mean that Kenyans are talking about Jamaica? Because as far as I know, Kenyans have been talking about Jamaica for close to 50 years. For close to 50 years, where were you? Where were you? Yeah? But either way, this time round is a little bit different because it is done on social media platforms like YouTube, TikTok. As long as what they are doing is not damaging to Jamaicans in either way, I don't see if there is anything wrong, ladies and gentlemen. But either way, that is just beside the point. Okay, let's go back to the Rastaman. The Rastaman registered 4 vehicles. 2 vehicles were not his. Already there is the evidence of I and I. Your problems are my problems, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the Rastaman has, he has stood firm with his own culture. He has not conformed to some of the new cultures. He has not conformed to other behaviors that we may not understand, ladies and gentlemen. He has remained to be a Rastaman. A Rastaman once, a Rastaman forever, ladies and gentlemen. A strong man is a man who stands alone. A strong man is a man who believes in himself. Okay, the rest of the world will have to conform and believe in his own beliefs, ladies and gentlemen. When you believe in your own culture, when you stand firm and believe in what you believe in yourself, the universe will have to conform and accept you the way you are. You see how Frank Caprio is even, he's happy to know even the Rastafarian culture, ladies and gentlemen. You see, and of course the Jamaican guy is telling him about haile sellasie. He was crowned the king in 1930s, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Ethiopia. Now what is the name of that? There's another name. There's another Japanese guy. Yes, a Japanese guy who is a Rastafarian in Ethiopia. A Japanese, and he was playing Nyambingi drums, ladies and gentlemen. Can you imagine a Japanese who is a Rastafarian, ladies and gentlemen? Show me any other culture that was inbred by a black man that has also influenced a Japanese. Show me. I'm waiting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm waiting. That man is a Rastafarian and he's a Japanese. So I'm even asking myself, this person that is in conflict, this black person that is in conflict with the Rastafari people, look at how the Rastafari people are influencing even people who are not black. And the culture was started by a black man. That's the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing important, this guy has lived in the US for 20 years and he has remained the same way. He has not changed. He has believed in his own culture. He has not changed, ladies and gentlemen. Even the accent. The problem is with some of my African people, when they go to the US, they even forget about organic food. They start eating pizza, burgers, even when circumstances that does not demand so. In Africa there's a notion that when you eat pizza, when you eat burgers, when you eat fries, you are a rich man. That's the notion that goes on in Africa. So this person wants to appear rich man to their fellow villagers in Africa, but the people that have lived in the US, they know how gold organic food is. They know how mukombero is gold in the US, ladies and gentlemen. It's very hard to find mukombero in the US. And speaking about mukombero, by the way, there's a Jamaican man who is selling mukombero here in Kenya, and he's also operating a Jamaican restaurant. I'm going to link in the description below, ladies and gentlemen.